when you know who's thought about it and who hasn't. Look at Nova. Knows exactly where he needs to be.
Yeah, that Nova, he is a bit of work. This young man, he knows how it takes to get the hectare. There he goes. He knows how to get to that smoko box before all these other wool handlers. This young Emma, she's done very, very well. I reckon she's probably had 3 of the hardest fleeces up there at the moment. But her quality, she's a quality worker, this young lady. All of the Mason whānau down here in the Masterton area, they all are strictly quality. Sheer expertise, I think, is the name of the game. There we go. Time taken down there. Emma's not far away. There we go. Well done, wool handlers. What a heck of a heat. Okay, Gerald, can we have heat 2 up on the board?
Hang on a minute. Let's just let the judges clear. But if those competitors are ready, as soon as all that judging is done, please don't muck around, but just allow the wool to be cleared.
Okay, thanks, Novice. So just a reminder, at 1:45 it'll be. We'll be starting the peers pressing, okay? And once we've tidied the peers pressing up, we'll then move on to the novice pressing. So we're going to take a short break. We look forward to catching you all in half an hour at the back of the stage here.
Thanks very much, Gerald. Can we have Naira Puha on table 4, please? Tremont Campbell on 3, Jesse Dean on 2, Aloha Edmonds on table number 1. That'll be heat 2. They can get up now. The judges are finished and they can get their tables sorted. Heat 3 moving forward. They need to be ready to go. It will be Kylie Laris, Ricky Stevens, Liana Marie and Bianca Hawea. Heat 4. Just so you know where you are, competitors. Heat 4, Jeremy Goodger, Vinnie Goodger, Lashara Anderson, Jaya Deva Henry. Heat 5, Samantha Baxter, Maiden Ellers, Christine Bellinger, Sam Tippany. Heat 6, Jimmy Samuels, Azure D. Paku, Lucky Garrett, Crystal Bird. Heat 7, Tyler Hidder, Jackie Paku and Jody Hogg. So that's where that's the running order for our senior wool handling, sponsored by Te Puni Kokiri. Once again, a huge thanks to all our sponsors here at the Golden Shears, especially Te Puni Kokiri. Aroha Edmonds on table number 1. There she is. Especially Te Puni Kokiri, the sponsors of this, the senior wool handling. A huge thanks to them for their support of the senior. Couple more seconds, Toma, and you can, when we get the green light, we can set these competitors alight.
Thank you very much, Norm. Okay, wool handlers, when you come up, we would like you to bring a second up, because as soon as the light turns green, we will be starting the heat off. There's a green light up at the back of the stadium, shearers. When that's green, that means that we're good to go. So just keep an eye on that. So just while we're waiting for that, these wool handlers, they've got 9 different baskets around the table. And every one of those baskets, there should be a line of wool. We have frib wool, belly wool, short wool, from around the crutch, maybe a bit of pizzle, maybe a bit of dags. Okay, it looks like we're good to go. We have the green light. 3 competition fleeces these wool handlers will be handling. Timekeepers ready. Shearers, get set, go. Okay, senior competitors, you guys have been around for 1 or 2 haircuts. You need to, as soon as the judges have judged from the heat before, judge the cleanup, and the wool's taken away, you may get up there and start sorting out your bins. If you could take a second up to sweep the board down for you while you set up your bins, that just allows you to focus more on what's coming up.
I think the other thing, Toma, if you don't have a mate with you, for some of our experienced wool handlers sitting down there, if you see someone up on their own, jump up and give them a hand. Teamwork, even here.
Mavis, I'm just looking at these sheep as these shearers are going into the undermine. Around the back legs, the wool is very discoloured. So that would be a place of concern for some of these wool handlers, just to be wary about it when it comes out on the table?
I think the big thing is these are senior wool handlers. These are not our novices. These are not our juniors. These are our experienced journeymen, really, in the sheds. They know, they understand length and colour. And again, it's about the decision making. And this is what separates, I guess, the leadership from, you know, those who probably need more guidance. But my expectation is that these are senior wool handlers. They know this stuff. And they're going to show, I guess, their skills right now as they're all starting to prepare to turn and throw that fleece. Let's see what they look like. Let's see how they've done.
Aroha, she turns around, floats it down, lovely, a little wee bit overhang, same as young Jessie Dean on table number 2. Not bad throws, but not a lot of pressure on these young bull handlers at the moment. Tremont down there on table number 3, good throw from her. And Wairarapa, well, Ngaira's been right up there at the top of the wall in the wool handling circuit this year, Mavis, so I'd expect that was a good throw.
It was a very good throw. And again, we talked a little bit about Cortez. You know, these are the uri of Rose Puha, and everyone knows Rose. She's a hard but fair taskmaster. She expects excellence all the time, and I guess we're seeing it come through Ngaira here. She's had a couple of good seasons, so yeah, expecting that, you know, unless she falters along the way, she should be doing well. But then you can't really cross anyone out in this heat. They're all very experienced, they know what they're doing, and they're looking pretty confident.
Yes, they are. I see young Jessie Dean there, she's chewing on a bit of chewing gum. You know, that can be something just to take your mind off everything, make yourself relax. We all have our own different ways of relaxing, and some people find that chewing gum is a way to do it. So talking to the shearers is another way to do it. But, you know, these wool handlers, they've only got 3 fleeces to really find their little niche and, you know, make it happen for them. And these shearers, they're putting on a good pace for these wool handlers. There's no time to tee-toy around. But let's watch young Jessie. She turns around, looks like a good fleece. Lovely throw. Oh, a little bit overhanging. Aroha turns around, throws. That's the way, Aroha. Kia tere ka pai. Here we go, Mavis. Young Ngaira. She's a heck of a good competitor.
Certainly is. I think the other thing that for those who watch a lot of this sport, wool handling in particular, you'll notice everyone has their own style. You know, some look like they're on a Sunday picnic, others look like they're just flat out hardcore, and some just look like they're relaxed into it. And everyone has got their own style, got their own pace. But at the end of the day, it is about how accurate they are, how well organised they are. And what we see here is they've gone down one side of the fleece, removing the processing faults, then they've gone back to that shearer to get those medullated fibres up around the head. No socks on these sheep, so, you know, there won't be any of those that medullated fibre around the legs. But like you said, Toma, there's a lot of short wool around that crutch area that there's going to be a bit of attention paid to.
Yeah, there could be 3 or 4 different lines around the crutch. So these wool handlers, they really need to be there with their shearer. And it's just like around the head, you know, that medullated fibre, the hollow fibre. If they are not there when the shearer takes the top knot off and the top knot wool touches the main fleece wool, that's classed as contaminating. And then once a bit of contamination starts happening, you'll see these judges, evil grin will come across their faces and they think, I got you. But here's our 3rd and final fleece. Tremont turns around. Lovely throw down there by Tremont.
Yeah, bit of a style there from Tremont. She made that look very stylish. Another kind of little trick to the trade you see when you're really looking at these wool handlers. Naira has already started packing up her bins, you know, to make room for that cleanup. But we're also seeing them taking, you know, really making big assessments. It looks like there was a bit of green bacteria potential about it. Just got to damn well do it.
So it becomes like a second nature. It's a sensing thing. You know, you
in that fleece. You know, they have to make these decisions on the call. Haven't got
out of the corner of your eye, out it comes. Well, it's about adding value, isn't it, Mavis? If it's not going to add value to that fleece, pull it out. What do they say? When in doubt, pull it out.
That's the one. If you're ever just unsure, it's best to take it out because you can always bring it back into the main line if it needs to be. Just give yourself a bit of time to think about it. But, you know, the decisions need to be made hard and fast. You've got to be able to think on your feet. But here we go again. This is the organisational stuff. This is the style you see. Some are full on, others just quietly going about. Boom. Way to go, Naira. No mucking around.
Here we're down here on table one with Aroha. Aroha's moving around. I think she's walked around the table at least 14 times. So yeah, it's that organisation thing that you're talking about. There we go. Time on table number 2. But Aroha, there's not a lot of work left there really. She's got a couple of little shaky bits to do. Just get rid of those longer bits, and then we've got the little locks left behind, the bits that they put on the tennis balls in Wimbledon. But here we go. She'll have a look around and she's got a big smile on her face. What a heck of a good competitor this young lady is. Okay, Norm, let's have our next heat up once the judges have judged the clean-up.
You know what, Tomo, just one thing. There's only 9 baskets there, but it looks like with some of that discoloration, there's up to 10, maybe 11 lines that these wool handlers are finding. And I guess that, again, goes back to the value that they want to add, ensuring that the main line of wool is as perfect as it can be.
So we can have heat 3 on the board, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the Te Puni Kokiri Senior. Down there on table number 4, we'll have Bianca Hawea, Liana Marie on 3, Ricky Stevens on 2, Kylie Laris on table number 1. They can hop up now. Like Thomas said, take someone up with you, get set up, because as soon as the light's green, we'll be kicking off. Heat number 4, the next heat after this one will be Jeremy Goodger, Vincent Goodger, Lashara Anderson, Jaya Deva Henry. You guys need to be ready to go in the next heat, please.
So here we are at heat 3, Te Puni Kokiri Senior Wool Handling. We have a green light, Tuma. We can get this cranked up when you're ready.
Okay, can we have our shearers to the board? We have the green light.
Hey, Tom,
Time,
can we just ask the competitors, just remember that these judges having to walk along the back, I know that's your area up there, but we certainly don't want any bodies falling over the side. So keep an eye out, judges. Sorry. Go, Tom.
Okay, thank you, Mavis. Yeah, competitors, have a bit of consideration for our judges around the back of your table especially, because the judges need to move around, okay? So just have a bit of consideration. Timekeepers are ready. Shearers, get set, go. Okay, Mavis, down here on table number 1, we have Kylie Laris from Masterton. A lot of good young wool handlers come out of Masterton, and Kylie is one of them. We got Ricky Stevens on table number 2. He's from up the Hawke's Bay, and he's actually been ruffling a few feathers in the wool handling for the last couple of years. I think these senior wool handlers, they'll have something to say to him today.
Yeah, it's always great to see the shearers who aren't afraid to have a shot at the wool handling. Sometimes it's a bit of a shock to the system when they start winning, but it's always very cool to see. And of course, Ricky's come through the grades and finds himself now in the senior and doing damn well at it as well. On stand 3, we have Lana Marie from Hastings, and again, a lot of good wool handlers come out of these East Coast regions where I guess there's still a reasonable concentration of sheep. And down here on stand number 4, Bianca Harwed, she needs no introduction. She's done well on this stage, up through the grades. Nice to see you here, Bianca. So these guys have got 2 fleeces that they have to handle, and they handle them at speed. These shearers don't muck around. They know what a senior competitor should be doing. Nice.
Kylie just a little bit overexcited and just threw it a little wee bit too hard. Some of these wool handlers, you know, the bright lights of the Golden Shears can be a little wee bit flustering. But we got this Kylie, she just doesn't let it phase her. You can't let it phase you when you get up there and compete wool handlers. You need to just keep moving. And it's just like in a wool shed situation. If your shearers are shearing 80, 100 a run on 4-wool ewes, you haven't got time to think, oh man, that throw was terrible. You just got to keep on trucking. And the shearers, they're working away into the undermine. These wool handlers, Ricky Stevens running back. That's the way, Ricky, you need to run, because Liana and Kylie and Bianca down there on table number 4, they aren't going to wait for you. Up the neck work the shearers. These wool handlers, they'll sweep around behind the shearer. It's all about quality, keeping the quality right. The judges are having a look at how clean the borders where you're shearing. Even when you're at the table, the judges are always looking around to make sure that there's no cross-contaminating. Because in the wool handling industry, it's all about colour, length and contamination. And that's how these wool handling judges, that's what they're judging you on, all of those things. So the shearers, they're moving around to the last side. Ricky Stevens, he looks like he's got the whitest fleece up there, so he shouldn't have too much work on there. But that's what we can see from back here. The white lights, Mavis, they really bring out the colours in the wool, don't they?
They do. And once you get to this level, or a show of the standard of Golden Shears, what you'll find is the white lights in the front will be the same calibre of lighting that the judges out the back have, because wool can look different if you have a yellow light on it. Let's go for the second throw. Let's see if we can... Yeah, that was a big one, Liana. Well done. Good throws down there.
Try that fleece. Let's see what they
And if you've been kind of listening along the way, the purpose of a throw that lands squarely and evenly on the table is to enable a quick identification of those faults as you move around the fleece. If your fleece is tucked in or hanging over, you know, it just requires a little bit more work.
Yes, that's right, Mavis. This fleece that Kylie Laris had here on table number 1, she threw it from the side because she was a bit too scared to throw it, and I think she did exceptionally well, because that fleece, it nearly looks second shearish the way it fell apart. And that's the experience of this wool handler. You know, and you got these other fleeces, you can afford to give them a bit of a push into the air and they'll land. But that fleece there, I think she did very, very well. And it's laying on the table. Pieces are still fairly much to the side. So as you're saying, she'll be able to identify those faults clearly. And now she's starting her roll up. So I think she's actually a little wee ways in front of these other wool handlers. But they will know that, because this is the third and final fleece coming off now. So these wool handlers, they'll be starting to think about their cleanup.
Yeah, and it's no surprise that Kylie changed her style to accommodate that very loose fleece. She's been around a little while. She knows how this stuff works. And you know that you have to tailor to, you know, whatever the fleece is, and wool handlers do that even with the shearers, depending on their style. Let's have a look at these next rows.
Philip Morrison, if you're in the stadium. Philip, can you come and see us, please?
Let's see what they
One of the-
look like.
Sorry, mate, just while we're having a wee look here, we have the results from the Pawai Mullins Novice Wool Handling semi-final. The top 4 that will compete in the final are in qualifying order, which was run after this one. The top 4 are Adam Gordon, Aledi Bradley, Elma Baker and Sylvia Dixon. So congratulations to the top 4 in the Pawai Mullins Novice Wool Handling semi-final.
Okay, back to the wool handling, and we got Kylie Lawrence here, fleece rolled up. She looks like she really is on her game. She looks like she's in form. We got Ricky Stevens, he's there, rolled up his fleece, into the fadge it goes. Come on, Ricky, you're going to need to show a little bit of urgency. Bianca Howie's been making finals left, right and centre, and this one is going to be no exception if it's up to her. Broom in hand for her. We got Kylie Lara, she's just swept her board. Mavis, a little bit of that organisational skills you're talking about.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to hurry up because although Bianca was probably one of the last to get her fleece off the table, she's certainly moving around very, very quickly and efficiently. This is where it counts. Yes, well done, Kylie. Bianca not too far behind her. But time doesn't mean everything. Time is just one component.
1 minute and 20 seconds for these seniors. There we go. Well done, Ricky. And Liana. Finishing touches for her. You're right, Mavis. You can lose hundreds of points out the back, so it does pay to take a little bit more care. Make sure that you get things right in the front and out the back.
Quality counts. Quality counts. Well done.
Thank you, Mavis and Tuma Mullins, our commentators for the wool handling. And the next heat in the Te Puni Kokiri Senior Wool Handling is heat number 4. And I just wait for the judges to finish. We'll get them up. On table number 4 will be Jaya Deva Henry. Table 3, Lashara Anderson. Table 2, Vinny Goodger. Table 1, Jeremy Goodger. As soon as the judges are finished, I think there's still one there working away. We'll get them up on the board.
Isn't it cool to see all these young school students roaming through the state? Well, they're not roaming, they're being guided and led through the stadium. You know, the times have really changed where a lot of these kids now don't often see sheep being shorn unless they come to events like this. So it's always great to be able to share this sort of stuff with the whole community, including our schools and our kohanga and our kura.
Dead right, Mavis. They don't get exposure to the industry like they used to, that's for sure. These young people are the future of our industry, so giving them a wee look at what they can do, where they can go, and the money they can make, of course, in the industry is great. So we have heat number 4 on the board now. Heat 5 need to be ready to go will be Samantha Baxter, Maiden Ellers, Christine Bellinger and Sam Tippany. You are heat 5. You guys are next. You need to be ready to rock and roll. Is Philip Morrison in the stadium, please? Philip, you can come and see us, please.
He's on the phone. So we've got Jeremy and Vinny Goodger. These boys are well known for their skills on the wool press. But I think both of them have won the triathlon event twice each, I think. Pretty sure. And it's good to see Vinny's actually made his way back into the wool shed. He was out on the dairy farm. But it's amazing what a bit of pay rise does. It brings back all these people back into the industry, these really good people. And so it's good to see him back in the shearing sheds where he belongs. Can we have our shearers to the board? We got the green light. We've got 7 heats of the senior wool handling. Timekeepers ready. Shearers get set, go. So down here on table number 1, Mavis, we have Jeremy Goodyear, a man that needs no introduction. It's actually good to see him in the senior wool handling. I think he's been in the juniors about 25 years. So it's good to see Jeremy here in the seniors. He's going to handle it no problem at all. He's a well-accomplished wool handler and presser and shearer. And we've got Vinny on table number 2. He's been on the dairy farm for the last 3 years, I think it is. But with the pay rise, as I was saying a bit earlier, you know, he finds that he can now afford to go out pressing, go out wool handling, and be able to afford to feed his whānau, Mavis.
Yeah, it's always very cool when you see the Goodyear boys doing their thing. We saw James earlier on the press, and not to take things down a notch at all, but I've always got very fond memories of Warwick and the time that he had also on the stage, both up the front and down the back. But back to the heat we've got in front of us. Heat number 4, Lashara Anderson, 2 South Island girls, mainlanders down this end from Invercargill, and Jayadeva Henry from Milton, capital of the shearing world of the South Island, I used to think Milton was. But here they are, and they seem to be all doing what they need to do, preparing that fleece for a really top throw to ensure that they incur as little penalties as possible. Let's see how Vinny goes. Whew. Oh, heck. Yes.
Now that's a throw. These 2 Goodyear boys, they battle it out on the press, and now they're going to battle it out side by side on the wool table. Nice light fingers. I think Jeremy's probably got the better fingers by the looks of it. Working his way around the top, just pulls the neck wall out. You know, a lot of these tall competitors, Mavis, they seem to skirt one side, then pull the other side over. I think that they should have to walk right around the table just like everybody else.
Oh, you know, there's clever ways of doing things, and sometimes it's about working smart as well as hard. If you can do that, and often what a judge will do if they see that is ensure that no second cuts are falling into that main line of wool, because that can happen quite easily when you do that. But if you can do it well, why not?
Yeah, both these guys working their way around the second part of the fleece. They're just at the top front shoulder, pulling out the seconds. And then they just flip the fleece over, having a look, making sure that there's no skin or any other first pieces that might have been left behind. Lashara there, she runs back to the table, runs back to her shearer, then back to the table. These shearers are putting some good pressure on these wool handlers, but I think Vincent's the only one that's really up with the play. He's back at the board, Mavis, all about that setup.
Yep, it is, and let's hope that, you know, this extra time he's had to prepare counts for him. He had a damn good throw the first one. Let's see how we go. Yes. Nice one. A bit of bunching there, but not too bad. It's all there. Great throw, Lashara. A little bit of overturn, but nothing you can't deal with. Yeah, great throws. You can see the competency of these senior wool handlers. It is a step up. It's quite a marked step up from what we saw. And if we've got the novices here watching, their finalists have been announced. Watch these people. What are the secrets? What is it that they do that you might be able to adopt in your plan? This is how we learn. Watch those who are in front of you. They're all doing a great job.
That is dead right, Mavis. It's about using these shows and competitions to improve your own skills. If you don't know what's happening, ask them, have a talk to them. A lot of these wool handlers, they will talk to you. They're not going to be nasty or anything, but if you ask them a question, they will ask you, because they started at the bottom as well. And we've got Jeremy here. He's about to roll up his fleece. Vinny's been there, done that. Nice, tight, compact roll. Tall guys just look like they're really moving very, very slowly, but they are moving efficiently. Shearer's about to turn to the last side. Poor little Lashara, she's got to run with her little legs back to the shearer, then back to the fleece. A lot of work in that fleece, Mavis, by the looks of it, that Lashara has. Looks like a lot of discoloured wool, probably from wet conditions, as we were saying a little bit earlier on in the Wairarapa.
Yeah, she's doing a great job there. That was quite a nice roll. These are not easy fleeces, and there's a lot in them. It does limit her time, though, to prepare this next fleece. Oh, she's done that well. Look at that. She had to do that very quickly. Front sides hit the floor, but, you know, she'll work through that. Just keep your quality right, keep it going. But
Jeremy,
those butcher guys are certainly right into it, aren't they?
They certainly are. Jeremy, he's just taken a little bit more time to clean up his staging area. He's a little wee bit in front of that, but it looks like Vinny has really taken that fleece that he's got. He's really gripped it by the horns, as you'd say, and he is absolutely going for it. 1 minute and 20 seconds is the sealed time, and then it's 1 point, I think, per 10 seconds. So these wool handlers really, really getting tested. But Vinny down there, as I was saying a bit earlier, he's the winner, two-time winner of the triathlon, and he'd be looking at picking up some good valuable points for that, because that is all determined by the heats. Jeremy Goodger, a roll-up time for him. But this Vinny, he is going to be the first one to finish. Lashara Anderson down there, brim in hand, and Jaya down there on table number 4, working away. Well done, time by Vinny.
Great display, guys. Doing it, I guess, as I'm sure you do every day in the sheds. Time for Lashara. Good move, Jaya. If you have wool on the floor and an empty basket, it's quite a hefty penalty. So she was aware of that all the way through.
Joe Hopkirk, can you report to the microphone desk, please? Joe Hopkirk. With a half a dozen Moro bars, that would be great. Okay, can we have our next heat up on the board?
While we're just waiting for these competitors to get themselves ready for their heat. Again, just want to acknowledge to Puni Kokiri and the sponsorship that they put into this event. They've been a sponsor here at Golden Shears for a few years now, and you know, it's important work, and we certainly appreciate their sponsorship, their support of our industry and our people. Also want to shout out to Paddy Mason and the guys in the back. They do this for love. So they're here. I think we did a bit of a calculation over the 3 days. These guys share over, I might be making it up, but certainly must be at least 600 sheep for these wool handlers. So thank you very much, guys. It's not an easy job, but well appreciated.
Certainly is, Mavis. So this is Heat 5. Sam Tippany, Christine Bellinger, Maiden Ellis and Samantha Baxter on this one. Heat number 6 need to be ready to go. Jimmy Samuels, Azure D. Paku, Lucky Garrett and Crystal Bird. They need to be ready to go. That will be Heat 6. And Heat 7 will be the final heat in the Te Puni Kokiri Senior Wool Handling, and that will be Tyler Hitter, Jackie Paku, and Jodie Hogg. So they all need to be ready to rock and roll, competitors. We have a green light, Toma. Green light, bro. I'm having a share tomorrow.
Timekeepers ready. Shearers, get set, go. Okay, we're on heat number 5. Te Puni Kokiri are the sponsors of this event. Thank you very much to Te Puni Kokiri. Been a sponsor with us for a long time now, and they are a wonderful outfit, the Te Puni Kokiri. Suppliers of the sheep have been White Spurs. New to the show of supplying sheep for us. But thank you very much. They're coming in a little bit short notice. But these animals, Mavis, they are wonderful animals, very, very testing for these wool handlers.
They are well grown, well presented, and certainly challenging for these wool handlers. There's no easy road here for anyone, and that's exactly how we want it. So down your end, Tuma, I see we have Samantha Baxter. She's come up through the grades and has had a fair amount of success, hasn't she? And then on stand number 2, we have Maiden Ellis from Matoda, a very experienced wool handler, very tidy, very professional, knows how to get this stuff done. And of course, they have a whakapapa into the Cook Islands, which, you know, is pretty exciting when it comes to things like the World Championships, that they have these opportunities. On stand number 3, Christine Bellinger from Featherston, another well-experienced wool handler. Unflappable, actually, when you look at her up there. And down the end here, Sam Tipene from Eketahuna. Let's look at these throws. Well done by Christine. A smaller fleece. You can see on table 1 and 2, just a little bit more bulky, but certainly landed them good enough. Let's see what Sam can do. Very nice. That's the goal. That's the goal for those novices who are hanging around waiting for their final. That's the goal. That's what you want.
Yes, you're right, Mavis. That is what you want. And these young wool handlers, these young novices, they should be watching these competitors like glue. You know, they might see something that they like, and there's nothing wrong with adopting it into your style, into your pattern of wool handling. If it may work for you, it may not, but that's what it's about. It's about trial and error. Not everybody's system, you know, works for somebody else. But just watching this Samantha Baxter here on table number 1, she had a reasonably good throw, a little wee bit of overhang, but that fleece looks fairly clean. So she'll just be point skirting, you know, just bare minimum, and then she'll be starting to roll up. Shearers all just about to turn to the last side. The wool handlers, they'll be looking at keeping an eye on this shearer, because if the wool from the cheek touches the fleece, they will get penalised for cross-contamination. That's the medullated fibre around the cheek wool shouldn't touch the body wool.
I don't know what... Yep, so everyone's in the roll-up now, getting ready for their next fleece. As you can see, there's quite a bit of colour that's being taken out. Pretty much, you know, almost a double skirt right up the side. Once again, it's hard to gather here just how much, but they're making the calls. Again, some good throws, but, you know, just a bit of overhang. And for these senior wool handlers, something that they should be thinking about on their setup, how they ensure that perhaps those front legs get tucked in a little bit more, so that when they do throw, they're a little bit closer, more compact into the body wool, rather than, you know, falling down over the side like that. Those are the technical things that these competitors will be working on every day in the wool shed.
Thanks, Mavis. So can we please have Adam Gordon, Eleni Bradley, Elma Baker, Sylvia Dixon, our Pāwai Mullins novice wool handling finalists, to the announcers table, please, to draw for their stands. And Pāwai Mullins novice wool handling finalists to the table to draw for their stands, please. And I think...
Hope you novice wool handlers wool handling finalists are hearing that. You need to get up to the points table over there to make your draw, get your shirts. It's an exciting time. I hope you're in the stadium. But let's get back to heat 5 of these seniors.
Okay, shearers working their way down the last side. We see young Samantha Baxter here, table number 1, setting up their fleece. She should have the best throw this time around because she's had all the time in the world to set it up. Let's see how she handles it. There's a little bit of pressure up there. She squeezes the back legs, pulls them over the front legs. Just couldn't quite get it to release. Oh, that young lady down there, Sam Tiffany Mavis.
Yep, she's having a good run actually. She's, you know, the fleece is hanging over, sorry, a little bit, but you know, she's not panicked by that, and she's very decisive. She's been interesting to watch. She's making her decisions very quickly, and she's very confident when she makes them. She just keeps going. Sometimes people are a little bit unsure and they look and think, oh, should I, shouldn't I? You can almost hear them thinking it. But that hasn't been the case here. But yes, look at Samantha. That last fleece gone. Let's see if she can really utilise her time.
Yes, young Samantha, she's had a fairly good run of fleeces. I think her throws, the fleeces were just a little bit, they were crumbling away on her. The fibres weren't holding together that well. But we've got this Christine Bellinger from just down the road. She's got the broom in hand as well. Samantha was the first one with broom in hand, but this young lady on table number 3 is catching up with her. We've got Samantha down there on her hands and knees, pulling out all the locks. She'll be looking around shortly to get her time taken. Well done.
I'll just jump in there, thanks Tuma. Hey, heat 1 of the doubles pressing will be Willie Gordon and Tane Matthews on press 1. And can these two make their way to their press 2, please? Carmen Smith and Gavin Cottle. Okay, Carmen Smith, Gavin Cottle. Make an appearance down here, please, and we'll get underway. Thanks, Tuma.
Thank you, Gerald. We're nearly finished here. We're just waiting on Maiden. Maiden is a quality wool handler. She knows that there's time points at stake, but I've worked with this young lady down in the World Champs, and she is a quality wool handler. So she'll be really concentrating, making sure she's got every little fibre in the right place. Looks around. There she goes. Well done. Koivan, next heat up on the board once these judges have judged. So just hang off the board, competitors, till the judges have judged, then get up there and give them a clean up. Now there's a little stall out the front. It's called Tahi Ngā Tahi. And it's about improving workplace conditions. And they can train staff from anywhere in the world. So if you've got a spare couple of minutes, just head out the front there. It's a little stall with Tahi Ngā Tahi. Norm.
Thanks, Tom. So heat number 6 on, I think all our judges are finished. We're just waiting to get them recorded. So heat number 6, table number 4 will be Crystal Bird, Lucky Garrett on table 3, Ezra D. Paku on table 2, and Jimmy Samuels on table number 1. Second last heat, heat number 7, the next heat will be Tyler Hira, Jackie Paku and Jodie Hogg. Heat number 7 in the Puni Kokiri Senior Wool Handling heats. So just about all done and dusted, and these competitors looking for a spot in the next round. We'll get them set up, and Tuma, once we get the green light, we'll set them alight.
Well, we've got a bit of time. It might just pay to, again, just a big thanks to the judges, whether they're shearing or wool handling, but right now these wool handling judges, they come from throughout New Zealand, North, South Island. They're volunteers, they're experienced in what they do. And we have 2 sets of them. There's the set of judges that are working on the board, and then there's a whole another set of judges working out the back. So, you know, again, this is a big operation, and everyone has a part to play.
Okay, we got the green light. See wool handlers ripping baskets nearly in half. Just settle down, it's okay. It's a Zerdy. We have our shearers to the board. 3 competition fleeces. We are good to go. Timekeepers ready. Shearers get set, go. Okay, so I'm just going to walk around and get a little bit closer to these wool handlers, get a little bit closer to the action. We got Jimmy, the Superfly Samuels from Masterton on table number 1. I hear he made the semi-final with the Goodyear brothers a little bit later on in the pressing, so he'll be quite fired up about that. We got Azurdi Paku here on table number 2. She's a local girl, a heck of a competitor. She's always around the shows. You'll see her there with a smiling face, always doing the morena thing, and then goes about her business. But here we go. The shearers have taken the belly off. They've gone through the crutch, taken the top knot off. So already these wool handlers have already probably used up 5 of their little baskets around the tables that they have with different lines of wool. So just in these baskets, we've got the frib wool, we've got belly wool, we've got socks, we've got eye clips, we've got locks, we've got first pieces, second pieces, necks and fleeces. So that's what all these wool handlers, that's what they are sorting out at the moment up there. But the thing is, sorry, where you go?
Yeah, sorry, Tuma. I've just got a button there for a wee second. Hey, for the peers pressing, please, we're going to need your help to get this under the way because we've got a lot of people that are still tied up with the wool handling and shearing and the like. So if you are a team able to go, and we've got 6 teams to go, come down and let us know at the table here, please. We need your assistance to get this underway. Thank you.
Okay, well, down here, table number 1, he's going to set the place on fire. That's Jimmy Samuels. Azurdi Paku said, hey, matey, I'm a wool handler around here, and she does even better throw. And we've got Lucky, young Lucky. She's been around all morning, Mavis, helping these young wool handlers. A great competitor.
Sure is, and I'll tell you what, these 2 down this end, Lucky and Crystal, both had really nice throws. Very confident, allowed it to throw out, and then just, was able to just watch it go and then head back to the board. It's really cool when you see it all coming together nicely, which isn't all the time, as we know. But I was just wanting to say, Toma, you were talking about the different lines in those baskets. Each line of wool in those baskets has a different value. And of course, the greatest value is that bit on the table, the fleece wool. And so by removing all of those substandard or processing faults, as we call them, it just maintains the value of that fleece. So there's very much an economic reason for what's happening in front of you today with this wool. See how Lucky ran back. She's onto it.
Watching this Jimmy Samuels, he's going to need to pull his finger out because that shear is nearly finished. Azurdi Paku, she's a crystal bird down there. She's in the same boat. Come on, need to get back to your shearers. There's a lot of work in these fleeces. Here we go. The shearer's about to go in for the 3rd and final fleece. Azurdi, she looks, unloads, and it's lovely. Ooh, even Jimmy Samuels, Mavis. Good throw down here on tables 1 and 2.
Yep, great. Look, it looks good from here too. 3 and 4, just a little bit overhanging. And as Tuma was talking earlier on, for every bit of overhang the size of an A4 sheet of paper, you earn 1 penalty points. So that means everybody starts with a perfect score. And for every penalty, so the lowest points is the winner in this game. And you can see up on the screen what their board points are looking like. That's not the final. It's not including what's happening out the back with those judges. So, but it does give us as an audience a bit of an indication of, who's done well in the front with these judges that are judging them on the board.
Just watching young Jimmy Samuels working away with his shearer. Shearer goes around the back of the head. That's the time to get back to the table. Run, Forrest, run. These other wool handlers, they are starting to lift the game a little bit. They look like They're not even working. Jimmy Samuels, come on, mate, keep an eye on everything. We got Crystal Bird. Crystal's rolling up her fleece, as is Lucky Garrett. There's a Zerdi Paku. Jimmy Samuels, his shearer's coming down the last side. He's thinking, well, I think I've done enough on that. Here we go, bring on another one. All the wool handlers back to their shearers, setting up the fleeces. 1 minute and 20 seconds is the seal time, so not a lot of time. Jimmy Samuels, he sets this fleece up nicely. I reckon it's going to be a beauty. Lovely throws from these wool handlers, Mavis.
Great throws, but as we said before, this is what you should expect from this grade. Great to see Jimmy. He's really provided a lot of entertainment as not just a great open shearer and a very accomplished speed shearer, but also as a wool handler. Sometimes it's a bit of a bummer when these guys can knock you out of the game, but Jimmy seems to do it with a bit of ease, as does other shearers like Ricky Stevens. But here we go, these wool handlers are now just really starting to tidy themselves up. Lucky's onto it. She's certainly gotten rid of that fleece very quickly. She's on to the clean-up, and this is when we see how organised she really is.
Jimmy Samuels is looking very, very organised. Not a lot of wool underneath there. Jimmy, come on, mate, let's go. We got Lucky Garrett. Lucky, I've been impressed with her all morning. She's been here helping these young wool handlers up there, sweeping their boards. There we go. Time for Lucky. Jimmy Samuels, I think he might be the next one with his hand up. He's down there looking for his false teeth in amongst the wool. Crystal Bird down there as well. We got Azurdi on her knees. There we go. Time for Azurdi. Time for Jimmy, time for Crystal Bird, Norm.
Very good. Thank you, Tuma. Right, we're ready to go. Thank you for your cooperation, pressing teams, for getting this organised and started for us. We've got two teams. We've got Willie Gordon and Tane Matthews on press 1. And we've got James Goodger and Conan Harmon on 2. In that case, the judges are ready. Timekeepers are ready. Presses, on your mask, set, go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there's 2 now, okay? Razzle-dazzle time, teamwork, look at them go. Here we go. Let's stay with them until we get the green light for shearing. This young couple here have been past champions in this, okay? Related by bloodline, if my memory serves me well, friends since they were kids, or lifetime friends and cousins. So here we go. Conan's on the fadge. James is on the wool. How are the youngsters going? The fadge is there. Tane's getting that sorted. And into the wool goes Willie Gordon. He's going to do a wee bit of stitching. There we go. How is James Goodger, ladies and gentlemen? Take note, swivel your chair. He's got a mighty big load there. Locked and loaded, as one would say. Now the youngsters are thinking, right, we like this. We want to be mixing with the best. Well, you're mixing with them. You're about 10 metres away from them at this stage. We've got a truck and trailer load, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, look at that. That's how it's done. If you're ever wondering how it is done, that is it. That's the A game. We've got another one coming up. Come on, folks, let's get in behind them. Here we go. Couple of your local boys, truck and trailer. Oh, you were stunned by it all. Hardly a murmur as the action unfolds quickly now. 2 of them, it all comes about teamwork. You don't want to be knocking into each other, getting in each other's way, double handling stuff. You still got to be accurate. And here we go, these 2 with a very similar bloodline. But intrinsic, really, isn't it? Where it just sort of happens, roughly knowing where they'll be. When you've spent a lot of time together, whether it be a netball team or a rugby team or a pressing team, you seem to get to know each other and you can do it intrinsically.
Gerald, I'll just butt in there. Thanks, mate. So we have Jodie Hogg, table 3, Jackie Paku, table number 2, and Tyler Hitter on table number 1. This is heat number 7. We have the green light, Tuma.
Okay, we've our shearers to the board. Timekeepers ready. Shearers, get set, go. So this is our last heat, Norm, of the Puni Kokiri Senior Wool Handling. We've had a wonderful lineup of senior wool handlers. These sheep that have been supplied by White Spurs have been wonderful. They're well-grown fleeces. Very, very testing. It makes me think that these tables actually are not big enough for some of these fleeces, but this is the senior classes Mavis was saying a little bit earlier on. A lot of these wool handlers will be leading in the wool sheds every day. So they have experienced enough. We've got young Tyler here on table number 1. Tyler's been around for a little while. She's a heck of a good competitor. She's got the cool hairdo going on. And we've got Jackie Paku there on table number 2. She's from Wairarapa. And Jodie Hogg, Mavis. You know much about Jodie? She's from the Tikawiti area.
Well, just butt in there for 1 minute, Tuma. Hey, all the pressing teams, can you come to the table down here, please? All the pressing teams, and make yourself known so we can get heat 2 ready and organised.
Okay, so pressers, you guys need to report down to the Farmlands arena down the bottom end of the stadium. But at the top end of the stadium, if you've just joined us, this is the last heat of the Puni Kokiri Senior Wool Handling elimination heats. And Tyler, table number 1, she's the first to turn and throw.
I was starving.
Lovely. Little bit of overhang.
Little bit of overhang, but not too bad. At least the fleeces are squared up. Makes it easy for them to see where they want to go. Look how clean that board is after they've thrown that fleece. They get penalised for every grouping of or bits of wool that equals 1 credit card becomes a penalty point. So it is important for them to cover off as much of that as possible. Get back, start that fleece going, and then back and they start it again. But these are experienced wool handlers. They know what to do. And if they don't know what to do, well, they'll soon find out pretty quickly, won't they, Tom?
Yes, they sure will, Mavis. These young wool handlers, you know, they are athletes. These wool handlers are spending at least 8 hours every day over the Christmas months and the summer heat in wool sheds. You know, there's no time to muck around. All they do is they go to work, they go home, they have something to eat, have a shower, sleep. Alarm goes off at 4:15. They get up, get themselves organised, get their babies off to the babysitters, and in the van they go for another 8 hours work. So these wool handlers, ladies and gentlemen, they are athletes. They are physically fit at the moment. They've just finished the main chair. And so this really is the perfect time for these wool handlers to show their skills, because they have been well honed out in the wool sheds in the 40-degree heat for the last 2 months. So here we go. We've got fleece number 2 about to hit the table. Tyler just grabs a little bit of sock wool, chucks it to the side. Lovely throw.
Lovely throw there on table 1. Little bit of overhang, little bit of down the bottom there, a bit of bunching, but nothing that's going to detract too much from a pretty small group of penalties. But there is a lot of work. There's a lot of work in these fleeces. And it's
all right,
hard to
Mavis,
see
I'll just
it.
interrupt there if that's okay for a wee minute. We've got lots of action down here. We've got the teams, as I said, we're running at 6 minutes 30 now, folks. And look at these past winners go. We've got Conan's going to pull those pins out. Conan the Barbarian, as we named him. James Goodger says, right, we've got to get it pinned up first, mate. Just give me one more wee second. That's it, Conan, go for it now. Opening day for duck shooting in Southland. Boom, 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 boom. Right now the door's open. Here we go, rock and roll time, razzle dazzle. What's the running time? She's all quick. Past champion, 7 minutes. Your local boys, Masterton, 7:07, 7:10. The names are in the air. Give them a round of applause. Woohoo! Super duper. Then we're over to our young ones here. Willie Gordon, Tane Matthews. They're going to get the cap out of the way. Don't forget our major sponsors here, of course. Woolpacks New Zealand and Farmlands. They have sponsored all the wool pressing at the Golden Shears for numerous years here, long-serving sponsors. And I see out the corner of my eye here over the back, Calvin O'Reilly from CRT. So thanks for coming along, Calvin. You were here last year. She shows a huge amount of interest in this pressing, and the Golden Shears really do appreciate your continued support of this or these pressing events. Okay, we'll go back to the wool handling. Mavis, thank you for that, until we do a bit of a weigh up.
Okay, thank you, Gerald. We've got the third and final fleece on the table. Young Tyler, a little bit overhanging. She should have been throwing them well, just a little wee bit wide, maybe opening her arms up a little bit wide with a little bit of overhang. We've got Jodie Paku here on table number 2. Jodie's working away, trying not to go over the same place twice is the key, and that comes down to your organisation. And we've got Jodie Hogg down there on table number 3. Jodie's about to roll up. It doesn't look like there's too much more to do with that fleece. I think she's done all that she can with it, so she'll be looking at starting to roll up shortly, get the brim in hand, because this young girl Tyler here on table number 1, that's her thoughts exactly right now. So we've got the roll up time here. These novice wool handlers, you novices, you should be watching these wool handlers. See if you can pick up any tips. Tyler here on table number 1, she's actually put one of her bins up on the table as it's not to get in the road of her while she's doing her cleanup. Now anything the size of a credit card that's left over once these wool handlers have put their hand up, that is 1 point. So these wool handlers, they need to be on the ball.
Down here, Jodie's certainly got her place looking pretty smart. I see Tyler's put her hand up, so as you'd expect, she did look well organised right from the start. Jodie won't be too far behind, I'm sure. And of course, Jackie, she's cool, calm, collected. She's not going to let the Speed Kings put her off. She's got her quality sorted. She'll be wanting to do the best she can.
Rightio, we've got a bale weight coming up. James Goodger and Conan Harmon. They are targeting 160, and they are a little bit light at 152. 152, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring over that other bale. Wally Gordon, Tane Matthews. Bit behind in time. The Masterton boys pulled her off in 7 minutes 11. So that's going to help them a long way as far as those points on the underweight bale. There are time points at 1 every 20 seconds. Right, the 2 youngsters, how'd they get on? Once again, we're still looking for 160. The youngsters, Willie Gordon, Tane Matthews, 158.5. That's pretty close. They're going to be happy with that.
So that's up next day. Yep.
Thanks, Tuma.
Thank you very much, Gerald. If we could have our novice wool handlers to the left of the stage, please. And novice wool handlers to the left of the stage.
Can we have Jeremy Goodger and Vinny Goodger, is it? At the table here, please. Oh, and Twig as well. Is this Lois Twig?
Here we go. Good guys. Good to go, guys. Good start.
So can we have Lewis Twig, Jack Doddshan? Okay, to this table. You are the next heat up.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring these novice wool handlers up and give them a good hand as they get up there. We'll give them a chance to get up there, set up their baskets before we get started. On table number 4 from Woodville, Ellery Bradley, ladies and gentlemen. Give her a hand. Table number 3 from Featherston, Alma Baker. Table number 2 from Ikitahunya, Sylvia Dixon. And on table number 1, the local boy, Adam Gordon. Okay, novice wool handlers, you will be handling 2 competition fleeces. Okay, so this will put you guys to the test.
Are you here on your own? No, it's
Pauai Mullins are the sponsor of this event.
Welcome to the stadium. If you've just made it here this afternoon, you've come at a time when there's a lot going on. We've now really whittled through the novice wool handling, and what you see in front of you at the top stage in the front is our novice finalists. Novice is a new grade, so for these young wool handlers, they've probably only, well, you'd expect that this is their first season in the wool shed as a wool handler. So they've still got their trainer wheels on a bit, but you wouldn't have thought so today as they came through their heats. And then at the back, with Gerald and Kerry, we have the farmlands pressing going on. So this is the pairs. So there's certainly a lot going on, and hopefully something to pique your interest.
Thanks, Mavis. I'll just hop in here. The novice shearing semi-final draw, 3 heats. Heat 1, Connor McIntyre, Maddie Hull, Adam Gordon, Tiana Phillips, Kirei Manson, Jesse McIntyre. Heat 2, Eileen Link, Jerome Papworth, Renee Biggs, Jock Dodson,